Good Friday afternoon to you. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda. They are all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. And looking at the big picture here, what you can see is the first of all, Hurricane Sam, Major Hurricane Sam, Category 4, and it's going to eventually wheel down to a 3, a 2, and then a 1. Out in the shipping lanes across the North Atlantic, no issues. It's staying east of Bermuda, and the good news there, and so it will not affect land, and that would include the eastern parts of stick out here of Newfoundland. Looking at the temperatures across the region, you can see where it's relatively warm in the south. Really nothing spectacular to show here. There is a burst of southerly moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. That's made it out in the plain states, the high plains, and into the northern plains, and it's kind of circulating around like that. Looking at actual weather conditions, reporting stations, a lot of rain here, even a little bit of snow in the mountain elevations in Colorado, and we're seeing some rain, some pockets of rain in the parts of the northern plains and then into parts of Canada. The upper system here, the upper level low, has been continuing to rotate, really not going anywhere very fast. And that's about it. Let's take a look at the incrementals. And looking at, of course, this is Hurricane Sam out in the open Atlantic, now southeast of Bermuda. I guess Bermuda about right there. Needless to say, we're looking at this area of low pressure with its precipitation and colder air aloft, actually cold enough to form a little bit of snow. This is going to be overtaken by a slight area of higher pressure today, and that's the reason why we're seeing a little bit better conditions, although a lot of cloud cover across the region. So that's valid at 3 or 4 o'clock there. That's 5. And so what ends up happening overnight, clouds return. This is a frontal genesis of a warm front. This precipitation has got a little bit of that moisture that's circulated around, and precipitable water is about 1 to 2 sigma as it looks right now, about 150, almost 200%. And this is going to continue to inundate Vermont, it looks like, for the next several days. So once it starts, this is valid at about midnight tonight, and it moves in a little bit after midnight, cuts across mainly northern areas, becomes a little bit more of a narrower band as we get into the overnight period tonight. That would be Saturday night, actually. And then on Sunday, it narrows back a little bit, affecting mainly northern Vermont. This will be, again, a warm front, so the warm front will be just a little south of this rain-lifted mechanism here. And then, of course, slightly warmer temperatures, a little bit more humid as well. So what ends up happening is the precipitation never really gets out of here. It just kind of steady state across Vermont, almost quasi-stationary. And then we have the next weather system to move on in. And this system here will be another area of low pressure. This time the Gulf of Mexico is open for business. This is that same weather that was over the plains is now moved east. And this circulation around this area of low pressure will then cause more precipitation. So we never really stop from the first batch, and we just continue with another surge, it looks like, on Monday and Tuesday, of potentially moderate rainfall. It looks like we'll yield above normal rainfall through this period here, and even much above normal rainfall across the southern 4 counties of the state of Vermont, and about near normal in far northern areas around Quebec. But needless to say, finally, this is Tuesday night. We finally get out of that scenario, and an area of higher pressure will start to build across a good section from the Great Lakes, ridging back all the way into the plains. 1030 hectopascal, center of high pressure over southern Quebec, and this will be the controlling influence once we get into basically Wednesday and into Thursday as we transition to what looks like much better conditions after the period. So our period will end here at about 2 o'clock on Thursday morning, and it looks like we have dry weather on the last part of Wednesday into Wednesday night, Thursday, and then by the time we hit Friday and Friday night, we're seeing another surge of moisture with looks like a pretty good inflow of subtropical moisture off the Atlantic Ocean. This is a total QPF of the GFS Ensemble, and you can see it's a pretty rainy stretch without hardly any let-up, just variable amounts of precip, with the most falling, it looks like, on Monday and Tuesday, but a pretty good shot on Saturday as well. And we can see from about a ½ inch to about an inch. And looking at and overlaying this quickly with precipitable water, that's 1 inch mark, that's 1.2, 1.4. So you can see it gets up there, again, mostly Monday, Tuesday. And then looking at capes overlaid on top of that, we're not looking at anything there to worry about. And of course, we don't have to worry about any shear, very strong right now, dipping down. And looking at the Weather Prediction Center, this is total QPF and some fairly hefty amounts here. This is 1.5. That would be greater than 2 inches in this area here, going across parts of southern Vermont in good agreement with the European as well as the other computer modeling. This is a temperature anomaly from the Climate Reanalyzer. Cooler than normal, but just barely, and then cooler than normal across the western part of North America. The warmest up in Canada, and then kind of stretching into the southeast states. This is this upper level low that's been circulating, and once it moves on out, this is going to replace that. And we're going to see a warming trend, but this doesn't look like it's going to happen until the middle part of next week. GFS Ensembles from the Center de Montpelier. 2 meter temperatures. You can see that we climb out of a hole here, kind of level off, and then continue to climb a little bit more. Looking at overlay of dew point temperatures at 2 meters, basically into that sort of 50 to 55 mode. A little bit clammy, not exactly humid. So for utilities, this is a great package of weather here, going the weather trends really right into the end of next week. This is a good time to take off if you're looking for vacation time. It doesn't look like we're going to see any storminess that's going to affect utilities. Just an elongated rainstorm, unfortunately, it's going to bring dreary, drab weather. This is our temperature scenario, looking at basically above normal temperatures that'll be pushing in. This is 5-day meteorological output statistics. And about 3 days later, it looks like this. Look at this. Above normal, as much as 21 degrees above normal in parts of Canada. I showed you that anomalous warmth, and that's what's going to be filling on in. Tropics are slowing down. We have Hurricane Sam. It's punching right along. Sustained winds 130 knots, gust of 150. And then we got Tropical Storm Victor in the main development region back here. It too, it looks like it's going to take a track and then go north and out to sea. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting. Thanks for watching.